Part two. Last week, we spoke about growing your audience using challenges. Today, we're talking about growing your audience using summits. If you are new, welcome to the Female Coaches Society. I am Neala Thorpe, your host. And this month, we're talking all about growing your audience. And the reason why I thought it was really important to speak about growing your audience is because I feel like this is where a lot of coaches fall short. I feel like this is where a lot of entrepreneurs fall short, period. I can give you a quick story, like really quick, like 2 sentences. When I started building my business, I was over on Instagram and I went through a period where I say my audience started to dry up. Okay. And so what that means is that the same people were showing up on my webinars, the same people was buying my products over and over again. My buyers list wasn't growing. And so that's when I knew that it was time for me to find out, or implement some strategies that was going to help me grow my audience. And then I also learned that growing my audience consistently was going to be important. So it's not as simple as just growing your audience through one event. This is another thing that I see a lot of people do. So I'm going to do an event, right? And I'm going to get all these people's attention. I'm going to bring them over. And then when that event is over, it's like, everything halts, right? And you are not growing your audience for the rest of the year until you decide to do an event again. And that's not the way you want to run your business. Now, for those of you who are just looking to make a little extra money, I said this last week, if you're just looking to make a little extra money, if this business for you is just to be able to supplement whatever, which is fine, then that's cool. But if you are looking for this business to be your legacy, if you are looking for this business to pay the bills, to create jobs, to be able to put you in the position where you can leave your job at some point, that means that your business needs to be growing and you need to be structuring your business like it's a real one. All right. And so that's what this month is all about for me. So today we're going to be talking about summits. I have a lot to cover. So let's talk about this. For those of you who might not understand what I'm speaking about, what is a virtual summit? It is pretty much an online conference. If you've been at a conference before, you know what it's like. You go into a building. It's a lot of fun. You sit down, you listen to a bunch of speakers who talk about their particular subject and subject matter. And you walk away feeling refreshed. You walk away feeling like you got a lot. Well, a virtual summit is like a virtual conference. Okay. That is what it is in a simple definition. But the Google definition says it's a collaborative online event in which speakers are interviewed by a host. It's like an online conference with a collection of online interviews from 6 to 30 experts on a particular topic. Now, before I keep going, I need you to understand that there are 2 ways to look at summits, okay? And if I don't explain this, then I wouldn't be doing my job right. Hosting a summit is a lot of work, but being interviewed in a summit is less work. Either way you look at it, it's beneficial. So let's start with the latter, which is being interviewed in a summit. Being interviewed in a summit helps you grow your audience because you're getting exposure, right? And so, for example, I do the Master Your Marketing Summit every year. We're not doing it in 2021 due to my health, but we do this every year, right? And if I was to bring you as a speaker onto my summit, it's going to give you a lot of exposure. Why? Because I do a lot of marketing. I run ads to my summit. Every single one of my speakers also market my summit. And so that means that the 20 plus speakers that I have, including you, will be advertising this summit, right? And so that means your face is being showed on all these different speakers' platforms, all right? And so it makes it very beneficial for you with less work being interviewed in summits. However, hosting summits is even more beneficial because now you're also able to generate money, right? So generate funds, generate a lot of leads, right? Because like I said in the beginning, what happened with one of our ladies in the group, she was able to get the list, of the people who she was in the summit with. That is not common. All right. That's not something that's common. So usually when you're interviewing in a summit, you give your 30-minute interview, but you pretty much walk away just really with the exposure. Right. And so I hope I'm making sense for you guys. Either way you look at it, summits are going to be beneficial, but I feel like hosting a summit is even more beneficial to a coach. All right. So this is the reason why we're talking about this summit. And I really hope that you guys are going to listen to me and take action on this, because every single person who has taken action on what I've taught them when it comes to summits continue to do it over and over again because of the benefits that come from it. Okay. And so that's the difference of being on both sides. Now, here's why summits, another reason why summits are important. You can get 500 plus leads in like 30 days. Okay. If you are not getting that many leads and you're running summits, I can almost bet it's because of the marketing plan. Okay. Or it's because of the type of speakers you're getting, one or the other, right? So either you're not marketing enough to get more people, which we'll talk about that, or two, you might not be choosing the right speakers. And so your speakers are not holding up their end of the bargain when it comes to marketing your summit so you can get more registrants. All right. But for the most part, you should be getting a minimum of 500 leads in 30 days. How many of you could use 500 leads in the next 30 days? Right? Give me a one below. How many of you could use 500 more leads on your email list? I should be seeing a whole lot of ones showing up at this point, because we're all in the business of getting leads. And if you're not, then you shouldn't be running a business. Like, that's the truth about it, right? Second thing is the exposure. We talked about this. And then third thing is the positioning. All right. So having other speakers talk about your summit positions you as an authority. Okay. You being able to bring all these speakers together positions you as an authority. All right. And so summits are really good when it comes to positioning, because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, I want to be like so straight up with this. I don't want to sugarcoat this at all. Let's be real. Let's be real. You might be somebody that's now growing your business. And so you really don't know a lot of people in the industry yet. A lot of people don't know of you yet, but you're out here and you're growing. And then one day someone like me says, hey, you know, let's use Jonica. Hey, Jonica, I want you to come and be a speaker on my summit. I want you to talk about networking. I know that Jonica is an expert in that, right? Growing your network. So I want you to come to talk on my summit about networking. What happens now is right away, every single one of the other speakers that's on my summit is starting to look at you as a peer because you are on a summit with them. Do you see how quickly you start to position yourself? And then if you leverage the opportunity, which a lot of people don't do, but if you leverage the opportunity and you take the opportunity to get to know your fellow speakers, to reach out to them and say, you know, hey, Anita, I'm in the such and such. I'm in the Master Your Marketing Summit with you. I'm a speaker as well. I see that you're talking about growing your business or networking. I love that. Let's see how we can stay connected. And you start to build a relationship with these speakers. Now you can take this leverage even further because you could create opportunities and collaborations with these speakers as well. All right. So this is what I mean when I say being in a summit and hosting a summit is going to position you in so many ways. All right. So I hope you're starting to see these benefits. So I'm going to start going through my tips because I told you I wasn't going to be here long. So the first thing we're going to talk about is planning your summit. Whew, this is going to be a lot. I'm just giving y'all the warning. It's going to be a lot. Okay, brace yourself. So 3-month minimum. When it comes to planning a summit, there's a 3-month minimum. It could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, but I say 3-month minimum. So if you have not taken 3 months to plan out your summit, that's probably why you didn't get a lot of registrants. That's probably why your conversion rates wasn't as high as it could be. Planning out your summit is really important. 3 months minimum. Number 2, the reason why I love the planning out of your summit during that 3 month is you get to outsource a lot of it. So when I do my summits, the only thing that I am responsible for is showing up on the interview to interview my speaker. That's it. Everything else can be outsourced. Okay. So planning also helps with your outsourcing, and planning also helps with your marketing. So we spoke about why marketing is very important. In the 6-Figure Summit course, I actually give you a full marketing plan. So you're able to follow my plan to be able to market your summit. Either way, whether you get this course or not, I need you to understand the importance of building the buzz for your summit. I need you to understand the importance of marketing, because if you do not market your summit right, then your speakers are not going to want to come back. And this is something that I could say for a fact because I've experienced this. Mostly all of my speakers have been returning speakers that come back. And that is because they know that when they get a part of my summit, marketing is done right. Exposure is done right. I do not hold, like I don't hold anything back when it comes to promoting my speakers. And when people become a part of your summit, they want to know that they are not wasting their time. They want to know that it's not only about coming and giving value, but that they're going to benefit from it too, right? Because they could just hit live and give the same tips. They don't need to come on your summit to do that. The point of joining a collaborative event like this is making sure that it's a win-win on both sides, all right? And so your marketing has to be on point, okay? So let's recap. Number one, you need 3 months of planning minimum. Number two, you need to do this so you can outsource most of the work. Keep that pressure off of yourself. And number three, you need to make sure that you have a good marketing plan for your summit. Boom. Number two, the next thing is your topic. Okay. And I feel like this is all I talk about because if I'm not mistaken, we spoke about this last week when we talked about growing your audience with challenges. But you got to understand the reason why we continue to speak about topic is because this is like your message, guys. Your topic of anything you do is like your message. And this is what attracts people to you. So if your topic is not on point, then you're not going to attract the right people to your summit. And ultimately, if you are not attracting the right people to your summit, then you're not attracting the people that's going to buy your offer, whatever you're going to sell at the end of the summit. You're not attracting the right people to your list. So you see where I'm going with this, right? And this is the reason why we continue to talk about topic, because the topic is important. Number one, your topic helps you target the right people. Let me give you a quick example. I hear a lot of coaches tell me, now because I work with coaches who want to be able to get high-end clients, I hear this a lot. Niala, I'm not attracting people who can afford me. This is big. But then when I go and I check out their social media, they are solving a lot of broke people problems, okay? And I'm just going to be honest, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say you are a business coach and you're out there teaching people how to design their Canva graphics. People who are high-end, right, investors, meaning they are looking to invest in high-end programs, they are not on Canva creating their graphics. What they may be interested in is how to hire someone who's going to create their graphics for them, okay? So you see the difference in just that one topic there, how you are going to attract a different type of person. So if you feel like you're attracting the wrong people, you're going to have to go back and see what type of content you're putting out, because a lot of times your content that you're putting out and the topics that you speak about is why you're attracting the wrong people. Number two, your topic is going to help you get more conversions. I don't have to stick on that. Jonica said too. I know that's right. So you got it. I don't have to stick on that. You already get this. If you're not attracting the right people, you're not going to convert higher on the back end. So you need to get the right people, and that means you need to choose the right topic. Number three is your speakers. Let's talk about your speakers. So number one, you want to make sure that your speakers are going to give you valuable content. It's going to bring valuable content. That's a given. Number two, you want to make sure your speakers is going to keep up their end of the bargain. So this is something that I learned the hard way. I have some speakers that are very good. They understand what it is to do collaborative events. They understand what it is to do joint ventures. When they make the commitment to be a part of the summit, they absolutely promote it, send it to their list, and do well. And then I also experienced speakers that said that they would and didn't. And that's always a hurt piece, right? Because you are, preparing a summit in hopes to grow your business, grow your audience, and you want your speakers to keep up their end of the bargain. Well, one way that helps me not continue to make these mistakes is researching. All right. So let's say you come up with the 20 speakers that you want to interview in your summit. One of the things that I would do is research those speakers really well and see if they've been in other summits or other offline events, speaking events, and see if they promoted, right? See how many times they posted that flyer. See how they wrote about the event. See how they wrote about the host. See if they were really genuine or if they were just using it as a way to have a platform, because this just happens. And I know a lot of people out here do not like to talk about these things. But for me, guys, when it comes to this community, I'm just going to keep it real, because you're going to experience this when you get out there and you start interviewing speakers in whatever capacity. Okay. There are people out here who are just looking to grow their audience, and that is all they care about. And those are not the people who you want to do joint ventures with. You want to do joint ventures with people who are genuine, and who are going to always keep up their end of the bargain, and who are always looking to serve others, especially if you are the type of person that are always out to serve others. That's just me, okay? So you want them to be valuable. You want them to keep up their end of the bargain. Number 3, you want to make sure that whatever the speaker is going to talk about in their interview, it is aligned with your topic for your summit, as well as the offer that you're going to sell. This is another mistake that I see a lot of people do. Again, if I'm going quickly for you and you're listening, because I'm kind of like listening to myself, and I'm starting to feel like someone who's really new to this will not understand that everything that I'm saying right now. And if that is you, get the 6-Figure Summit course, okay? The 6-Figure Summit course starts from you knowing nothing about summits, to educating you on summits, to planning it out completely, to telling you about the marketing, to teaching you about the Facebook ads, giving you everything you need, from the copy to the pages to the emails to everything. So if you are confused right now, then the 6-Figure Summit course is for you. If you are following me, all right, then you understand the importance of making sure that your speaker's topic is aligned with the topic of your summit, as well as whatever you are going to sell. Because if it is not, you will not get high conversions at the end of your summit. I'm going to give you a quick story. In my 2018 summit, which I absolutely adored that year, what I did is it's always the Master Your Marketing Summit. So my summit, obviously my area of expertise is messaging and marketing. So obviously my topic is marketing. And in my summit, I spoke about, just like what I'm doing this month, different ways that you can market your business. And each one of my speakers had an expertise in their particular marketing strategy. And so what I did is that my summit was for 5 days. Every day we interviewed 4 people. Yeah, 4 people, 5, 4, 20. Right. We interviewed 4 people. And then in the evening, I did a keynote. And my keynote basically brought all 4 interviews together. Right. So let's say day 1 was all about messaging, which it was. And so the 4 interviews that I did, we focused on how that particular coach mastered their message. And then at the end, in the nighttime that night, I spoke about what it really means to master your message. And what that did is it brought everybody's interview together, as well as positioned me as the final authority. All right. So hopefully you caught that, because that was a bonus. All right. So that's what I mean why it needs to be aligned, because if it's not, then you're not going to be able to sell. And my keynotes that I did every night was basically my selling, me basically seeding and bringing people into my offer. Okay. All right. What was the last thing? Actually, it's 2 more things I want to speak about. The next thing I want to talk about is your marketing. So far, we spoke about planning. We spoke about your topic. We spoke about your speakers. And now we're going to speak about your marketing. So there's 2 things that I want you to think about with your marketing. The first thing I want you to think about is seeding your summit. All right. So like, you remember I told you that it takes about 3 months to plan out your summit. Well, during that 3 months, you want to be doing a lot of seeding and letting people know that something is coming. All right. Again, if this is going over your head, I highly suggest that you get the course, because I'm really not going to go back to the basics with this one. The second thing that you have to think about is the structure of your summit when it comes to your marketing plan, because that's going to help. All right. So those are the 2 things you want to look at. Your seeding, making sure that you are building the buzz, getting people excited that something is coming, and then structuring your marketing plan to be able to fit each person. So what do I mean by each person? There are 3 types of people that are always buying from you. Number 1, the person who's oblivious. Okay. They do not understand that they even need this yet. That's where your educational content in your marketing plan is going to help with that. The second type of person, they know what their problem is, but they're not sure if you're the solution for them. So they are pretty much on a search. And they are trying to weigh out their options. Okay. And so if they join your summit is not the only summit that they're joining. They are weighing out their option as to what community they want to be in and who they want their coach to be. All right. And so you need to have content that also speaks to them. The third group of people, these are people who they know they have a problem and they know that they want you to be the person to help them, but they have objections. All right. And so then you need content that is objection answers, that's answering objections as well when you structure out your marketing plan. Make sense? All right. Last but not least is leveraging. So I was going to leave it at just talking about the planning topic, speakers, and marketing, but I thought it was important to talk about leveraging because as I said in the beginning, a lot of people do not leverage these type of opportunities, right? And so number one, when you have a summit, your summit can be used as a standalone product. Okay. So a lot of people do summits and then you never see your interviews again. We never hear about it again. That's because you're not leveraging all that time that you put in to put on the summit. Your summit can be used as a standalone product. So for a lot of you who just left Black Friday and created new products, but you had summits that you've done in the past that you could package up, I just gave you an idea. It could be used as a standalone product. Number two, it could be used as a bonus to other offers. Okay. Number three, it could be used as social proof. All right. Number three is the most important. Guys, I cannot stress enough that if you're going to put in the time to host a summit, be sure to leverage this opportunity. Be sure to leverage the exposure. Be sure to leverage the connection that you have with your speakers. I know for me, majority of the relationships that I have built in this industry, it has came from speaking on stages, whether virtual stages or in-person stages, live stages. Okay. Because I have leveraged the opportunity. And I made sure that if I'm going to share a stage with someone, I'm going to start building a relationship with them. Sometimes the synergy is not there. Sometimes, we don't match, and that's all right. That happens, different personalities. But for the most part, it's still someone in your network, right? You don't have to be best friends, but we still have people in our network. People, I know a couple of weeks ago, I went to my network and I started asking some people in my network, can they refer me to different publications or journalists that interview people who have cancer and who's growing a business, right? And so far, I have an interview today at 2:00. I have a television interview on Wednesday. We have stuff on even in January scheduled already, all because I went to my network and I just started asking a couple of the people that I know who they know, and that opened up opportunities, right? And I would not be able to do that if I have not built relationships and leverage past opportunities when I got to share stages with some of my colleagues, my peers, okay? So I need you to understand that it's all also about leveraging. Stop putting in so much work and not leveraging these opportunities to grow, because there are so many ways that you could grow. I even look at people in this group, and again, I'm gonna just tell it like it is. You get in groups like this, you meet people, you talk under live streams, you talk under comments, but then you're not taking the relationship any further, right? And then when I put the question in the group and say, how many collaborations have you done this month? You're telling me 0. How is that possible when you're in a group with over 4,000 people? That must mean that you are not leveraging opportunities. Now, here's the thing. Some of you are going to say, well, Niala, I really don't have the personality where I can go out and just reach out to people. I have a fear, and that's all right. That it happens. But my question to you is, do you want to grow or not? I guess that's my question. Do you want to grow or not? Because there's no business out here that gets where they're going alone. And there's not one millionaire that you're going to speak to that's being honest, that's going to tell you that they didn't tap into their network and that they didn't understand that the most important part of growing a business is growing relationships, right? So That's my challenge. Again, it seems as though I always come to teach you guys and I always end up preaching anyway. I can't help it. Guys, get out there and leverage these opportunities. Get out there, build relationships, use this summit strategy that I've shared with you today to grow your audience, to position you, and to also give you more authority. Because at the end of the day, people buy from who they know, like, and trust. People can't know you if you don't put yourself out there. They can't like you if you don't share yourself with them. And they can't trust you if you're not positioning yourself as an authority and a solution to the problems that your ideal client has. And it's easy ways that you can do this. Now, is a summit for everyone? No, it's not. Okay. So if you are someone that does not have the discipline and the commitment, okay, because it does take discipline and it does take commitment to take the 3 months to do a summit, then I highly suggest that you take my secondary advice, which is to be someone that gets interviewed on summits, because summits either way is going to be a valuable way for you to grow your audience. All right, guys, I'll see you all later. Have a good week.